My wife and I had a heated argument. I lost my temper and slapped her. But right after, I immediately regretted my actions and apologized to her. She pushed me away and kept her distance for a while. But eventually, she accepted my apology. That week, I went out of my way to make it up to her by buying her several gifts as a way to apologize for what I had done. Eventually, she fully forgave me, and things between us returned to normal. On another occasion, we got into an argument again, so I called her lazy and fat. She turned around, in response, called me a good-for-nothing man, then hissed and walked away. Frustrated, I followed her into the living room, demanding to know what she meant by that. She ignored me and went back to watching her television show, which only made me angrier. In the heat of the moment, I lost control and hit her on the neck. She immediately started coughing and crying, clearly shocked and in pain. Realizing I had crossed the line, I left the room to cool off. As we both calmed down, the weight of my actions sank in, and I realized how wrong I was for reacting that way. I wanted to apologize, but before I could, she came to me, knelt, and apologized for being disrespectful. I told her it was okay, and we hugged. So, one day we were on our way home when two guys stopped our car and started harassing us for money. I didn't have any cash on me, but my wife had some, which she handed over to them. However, this only seemed to make them angrier. Against my warning, my wife stepped out of the car and tried to calmly reason with them. One of the guys attempted to rip off my car's wiper, and my wife used her body to block him. In response, the guy pushed her, and she fell onto the side of the road. I immediately got out of the car to defend her, but what happened next left me completely stunned. In less than a minute, I watched as she single-handedly took down two grown men while wearing heels, no less. By the end of it, there was a dent in my front bumper with blood stains from where she had slammed one of the guys' heads into it. She left both of them on the ground, dusted off her clothes, and calmly got back into the car. By then, a crowd had gathered, and everyone was standing there with their mouths wide open in shock. I got into the car after her, and we drove through the stunned spectators. The ride home was completely silent. Honestly, I was too scared to even look at her. Now here's the thing. After being together for more than 5 years, I'm only just finding out that my wife is a trained jiu-jitsu fighter. Apparently, she trained from the age of 10 to 15. Not once in all our years together did she ever mention this. Safe to say, I've completely avoided any arguments with her since then. If she could hold back that kind of power and not retaliate when I slapped her in the past, I can't even imagine what was going through her mind. I'm never laying a hand on her again, ever. For the love of God, I don't want to end up like those guys on the ground.